Hello, and welcome to the Metaphysical Network for Conscious Living. My name is Lorraine Jensen, and I'm your host. Today, I have the extreme pleasure of speaking with Ailsie Path. Welcome, Ailsie.
Thank you.
So, today's topic is going to be Heal and Thrive, how energy healing can transform your life. Lovely topic. And Ailsie will be speaking on November the 21st at the Unitarian Fellowship Hall at 595 Townsite Road here in Nanaimo. We ask that you bring a $15 donation to cover the costs of the room and such. So let me tell you about the Metaphysical Network, and then we'll jump on to Ailsie and the great conversation. The Metaphysical Network for Conscious Living helps people seeking community, connection, and spiritual development to feel inspired and empowered by providing experiences through seminars, workshops, podcasts, fairs, as well as conferences. Ailsie became a quantum intuitive in 2018. She also uses light language key codes by unlocking the unique gifts of those she connects with. As a spiritual confidant, she offers tarot card and oracle insights to assist others who prefer to see the cards fly out in wonder. Who doesn't love to see that? Right? Anybody can, do the cards, but to see them fly out is like, oh, that's for me.
I know it's fun for me too, right?
Oh, yeah. Then you don't have to guess which card to pull. You just know that's the one. Not that you would guess anyway, because you just know. Ailsie navigates the mystical realms to provide guidance and clarity. She can do that because she is guided by spirit and deeply devoted to her life path. Her journey into the metaphysical world includes astro travel, Vedic astrology, Reiki, Pranic healing, as well as Peuma breathwork. All very exciting. And as a new light worker, I hardly know what any of those things means. So let's just run through a few of them now, shall we? First of all, Ailsie, I really don't know you at all. I met you for 2 minutes at an event, and what I heard you say was, I knew it wasn't I knew I was gifted, but I knew there was something other than me, in a sense. As a child, I always had an imaginary friend, and I saw ghosts. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're doing this, we're surrounded by light workers. Some of them don't even know they're light workers. But the reason I asked this question first is that my daughter grew up with those things. And I wonder how many other people did. So can you tell us a little bit about your experiences there?
Sure. So I was brought up Protestant, but not very practicing. So I only went to Sunday school maybe once a month for a year or two. But my mom had a lot of problems with the church and just them being a little pushy at that time. So we didn't go very often, mostly Easter candlelight and things like that.
Christmas
So
Eve.
yeah, when I started going to church, they started teaching the Bible. And I remember I already had the imaginary friend and it was a girl, and I knew that my mom didn't see her and that it was in my imagination. I got that a lot. You have a very vivid imagination. And but then I heard this voice of God, is what I called it. It was a man's voice, and it said, "Do not worship man." And with that came like a lot of telepathic messages of don't worship Jesus. Don't obviously, like, he's an amazing person and a healer, but don't worship man. And so I always have had this weird, strong faith that nobody has been able to falter, and I've never had to go to church or anything like that to keep it. And
Yes.
so with the imagination or imaginary friend, I think once I told somebody about it, she slowly started to disappear. And the ghosts, they didn't actually start being shown to me until I think 20. So I've been in and out of my spirituality my whole life, where I kind of shut it off and then it kind of comes alive again. And
Yeah.
maybe I get feared again. So I shut it off again. But I remember being very small. My mom said I would make medicines for my stuffed animals. I had like 100 stuffed animals. I would sleep with all of them. I have pictures. It's hilarious. You could just see my face. And so I would make medicine for them, and I would go to the trees in the backyard. We lived in the country. And then I would run back to the house. And then she's like, you would stop midway, and then you would run back to the tree and you would bow to the tree, and then you would run back. And she's like, it was just really weird and cute at the same time because she didn't know where I picked it up. But I've always had little, not spells, but rituals of sorts that I think are needed on the path too. And I've always known I've been a white witch of sorts, you know?
Right, right. And
Yeah.
so many of us, okay, so many of us don't even know what a white witch is. So tell, what is a white witch?
So a white witch is guided by source. So you may do rituals for love, but you would never do spell casting on people. Anything that you would not want happen to you, you would never do to another person or a thing like that. So that's pretty much a white witch. So I know a lot of different witches in my practice, and the ones that are in the gray area, I tend to push them or guide them into the white witch area because a lot of us have history as being witches,
Yes.
right? And we've
Yeah.
been burned at the stake. And if you go back to the Kabbalah religion, where we were allowed to harness spirit and we were allowed to communicate, that was our being, and we were tapped with the spiritual gifts of, our clairs and everything. We were allowed to use those. And for those to be taken away from us, we really turn to a place of wanting to feel the magic still and being in this realm or under the veil as we had. And so I understand that the power they desire to have, but with the lifting of the veil and the way things are now, the power is in the light. And more people, more and more witches of culture and spell casting, they're changing. They're seeing that. They're returning to the soul of light and truth and non-deception.
Wow. So what's a gray witch?
Gray witch. So it just means what they're playing in. So let's say, let's say what they're desiring. It can go with manifestating. Let's do manifestating because that's more of our realm now, right?
Yes, yes,
And
please.
so alchemy would be a white witch. You would be alchemizing through your heart. You can't manifest anything unless it's through the heart and it's for the good of the planet and all the beings here. That
I
would,
love it.
yeah, that would be
Love
alchemy.
it.
So
Yes.
gray witch can be manifesting. It can be you desiring something more than, like, maybe you want to be rich because of power. There would be like a gray thing there where it's not bad. The black magic is more, I want the house, I want the 5 cars. I don't care that you don't have any food. That's more of the
Okay.
manifesting for
Okay.
full on
Okay.
self.
That
There's
was great
gray there.
learning right there.
Okay.
That was amazing. Yeah, because I didn't know any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and people say, "Oh, don't use the word witch," and don't.
I know
Well,
they do.
if I don't know what it is, I don't know what I'm avoiding, and I think it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank.
I'm glad. Yeah, because they say that to me too. Don't use but it's like, well, it's in my history and it's in a lot of good people's history, and
It's in
we're all
so
good.
many people's history,
Yeah.
right?
We just get misled, right?
Yeah. So the next time somebody calls me a witch, I'm going to say, "Yeah, what color?"
Yeah. White witch.
Thank you. So, what is a quantum intuitive?
So quantum, so I did Reiki, pranic healing. So Reiki is energy healing of the hands, right?
Yeah.
And then pranic, you get to incorporate colors. So Reiki, you start with symbols. Pranic healing has a lot of color, and you can focus the energy more so. Like if you get a cut, you can really focus the energy coming out of your finger and just kind of sealing the cut. It's really quite fun. And then so where were we going with that? Oh, quantum intuitive. So in 2018, I was awakened by my guardian angel. So
Yeah.
on the 7/7 portal, I had a multi-dimensional come to me. And then on the 10th of 3 days after, the voice of God returned. Haven't heard him since age 7.
Wow.
Yes. So he talked for 1 hour about my kids, my past,
Wow.
yeah, everything. And then 4 days later, my guardian angel came and he stayed with me for 6 weeks, 24/7. And he taught me telepathy. He never moved his mouth. Yeah, it was crazy. I was talking out loud to myself. My kids were seeing it. My partner at the time was seeing it. And so I was literally crazy 2020 or 2018.
Could you see this guardian?
Not at first, it was really weird. I was watching The Bachelor and on my couch, and my partner worked away 3 weeks out of the month, and, so he kept putting a vision of my tarot cards. I only had 1 deck since age 15, and I had hidden them. We had family visiting, so I had put them in the bedroom somewhere, and I couldn't find them. So my tarot deck was going in front of my vision, and I was trying to, like, look b around it to watch The Bachelor, and it
Wow.
was, yeah, like, it was really annoying me, and then I was like, and then he showed my backpack in my bedroom with the tarot cards in the bottom. I went to my bedroom, they weren't there, and then I came back, same thing, and I was just like, "Oh," trying to wipe this vision. I go there, I empty my bag, sure enough, in a black little bag, I had put my tarot cards in the bottom of my, thing. So then inside my tarot cards, I had put in it with my pendulum, and so I started talking to him through the pendulum, and wow, he was really amazing. So I start, okay, is this yes? Is this no? Start asking questions. Is this blue? See what the pendulum would do. And then that's how I started to know him. And then I said, "Can I name you?" Because he said you can't say my name. You can't. It's angel names are really really loud in frequency, and so we can't even begin to pronunciate them. So we chose a name, and he was funny. It was Finley, and then I said, "Can I call you Finn?" And then it was a big no. And so he was very humorous at the same time, like, "Oh, you can choose my name, but no, I like Finley, but no, not this." And so yeah, he started teaching me telepathy, and sooner than later, my mouth didn't move anymore. And then with telepathy too, you talk so quickly, um, but learning it, it was like I would be like, "Do you go to the store?" You know, and it wasn't right because I would receive it so quick, I would lose it. And then, yeah.
Telepathy is talking without words.
Completely talking without words. So if you start even thinking words to communicate, you've missed the message. So you're talking with intention of desire of what you're wanting to know, and by the time you've even thought of the intention desire, you're receiving it. It's very quick. Insight is very quick. And so we miss a lot of it.
So I'm driving, I drive down the road and I think of somebody and then the phone rings and it's them.
Yeah.
So is that telepathy?
That can definitely be a form of telepathy for sure. So if I was to, like, my son and I were very telepathic. It's really weird.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and to the point that if I don't want to really say something to him, he'll say it to me right then. Like it's this is that. So with Finley, there'll, or let's take it into the quantum, right? So with the quantum, if I have somebody that I'm taking in and they have something that is blocking them or they're wanting to overcome it, then I have that intention and then I communicate it, and then the energy comes through, and it's like a ball of energy that starts to unpack, and then I can start interpreting it into English, and it starts to unfold or unravel. Yeah.
So how long was your guide with you? Did you say 24/7?
24/7, 6 weeks, and then he stayed a lot for, I would say, I started moving into Metatron, came into the quantum field. So he came on July 14th of 2018. A month later, I got into the quantum field. So he said, "Meet me in the quantum field." And I meditated for 2 hours straight every day for 2 weeks, or was it a month? I think it was 2 weeks and I got in there. But yeah, I kept being, "Why aren't you taking me in there? I'm meditating, blah, 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 blah." And then he's just like, and then the day that I was like, "I'm just going to meditate. I'm just going to meditate. Like I'm not trying to get into the quantum anymore. That day I got in.
Wow.
As soon as I just, yeah, surrendered and had fun.
There's so much to learn for, like I really want to do a course that's called Lightworker 101, because just learning the different kinds of modalities, and that, the different, like you're just like blowing my whatever, like just blowing it out of the water with the things that you're telling me. It's just fascinating. And there's so much to learn. So
There is so much to learn.
for sure, um, I have a bunch of questions, but I'm not going to ask you. But tell me what a galactic frequency is.
So the gifts that I've studied, and I've recognized them in my life, but I definitely did not get to practice them as we don't, right? We're all able to be psychic in ways or galactic beings, multidimensionals, and all of us have experienced telepathy. Like if you've ever been hit in public, or if you've ever seen somebody be rude to somebody in public and you send energy to them, like,
Yes,
how dare you? You know?
absolutely.
Yeah, so my angel was the first person that heard that, and I could hear them back. And so we've done telepathy our whole lives. We really have, but we've just never we've been so close-minded. So with frequencies, I have my clairvoyancy, my clairaudience, my sentience, and cognitance. And so with the frequencies, I can see them, I can hear them. I have major, what is it to telekinesis? No, not telekinesis. What is it? Tinnitus in the
Tinnitus.
yeah,
Okay,
so I'm kind of hard of hearing because I hear lots of frequencies
right.
and I see them and I know which ones are, so I have a sense of knowing where forgiveness is, gratitude, combinations like uh what is it? Compassion is a great example. Like compassion has so many frequencies within compassion. So you have love as the a main frequency,
Mhm.
then you have forgiveness and patience. Is it's just a beautiful frequency. So I can see them, I can feel them, I know they're there, and then when they come in, I feel into them, and then that's how I deliver them. There's many different ways that we need to deliver to many different people.
Wow. That's why I just, like just being in your presence for a very short time, I was like, oh.
Yeah, because
Um,
I like to stay tapped into those.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would too. I would too.
I don't
Um,
actually speak much. I smile a lot and I listen to people, and then when I actually speak, they're like, "Oh, you actually know a lot of stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, but I just like kind of I don't know, like if I'm in your presence, I'll be on your frequency." And it's really weird.
wow.
Do you ever find
Yes,
that?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
energetically. So if somebody sends me an email and they're not happy, I open it up and go, whoa, like, so
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
pick
that's
up the phone at
exactly.
that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. So tell us what's going to happen on the 21st of November.
So what I'd like to do on the 21st, I do key code light language. So light language came to me after probably when did I start it? Probably a year after the quantum started and I started doing quantum on people. And so I was in the shower and I think for months my lips started to vibrate and I didn't really know what it was. And I started doing like things like that and toning the frequencies in my ears that I was hearing. And then so in the shower one day, a whole bunch of stuff came out. It was like it was elemental. I have mantis here right now, so it won't sound the same. But the elementals are sometimes the mic won't pick it up. So this comes through and I just like what was that? Oh my gosh. And then so I found someone and she does light language and so she just kind of just talked to me and it just started coming through me. I didn't fear it. It always felt good anyway, right? So and then it just started flowing through. So I want to take people through light language because what I find light language does is it removes your ego.
That's
Um,
nice.
I don't want to say it removes your ego. It bypasses your ego. So it kind
Okay.
of puts your ego to the side so that you can just be in telepathic receiving mode. And so during quantum meditation, I'll take people through, we'll go into a deep state. Some light languages will help us get into a hypnotic state of mind, relaxing. And then people are focused on the languages as well. And then we'll bring in galactic beings, they'll bring in insight, or we'll go on a visual adventure where I'll share people what I see.
So we're going to do this collectively as a group. I
So
love
before
it
the
when we do
break,
that.
oh, good. Before the break, I want to do an activation and have it integrate while we have a break. And then hopefully that will help unlock gifts within you. And we always do it with ease and grace. And we also put an intention, and I'm going to put that intention now because I have forgotten to do it before, where we have a really great sleep and we integrate while we're sleeping that night, all these things that are unlocking in the body.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I, for one, I usually sit at the table at the back. Let me see if I can sit at the front.
Oh, cool. I
Just
always sit
from
at the
where I
front.
sit, I'm
I'm
going to
here.
be totally engaged in everything you have to say, like I am with all of them. So, wow. Is there anything you want to say as we close? Like, this has been a great conversation. And I really look forward to the feedback we get from everybody and see how many people show up. So, anything else you need to say before we close?
Um, no, I'm excited too. I never know what's coming through. So
Yeah.
I usually just kind of feel the room, and then the frequencies start knocking, and then I just kind of take what is like a collaboration of our need, and then I just kind of bring that one through. So we'll see. I have no idea what's coming through on the 21st either.
Well, everybody, you get all that and more for $15. Okay.
Yeah, I
And
know. I love
so,
the Metaphysical Network. It's
oh, it's
amazing.
fabulous. And, so it's all these people that are coming together. And, I thought when I joined to, I thought everybody was going to be fully engaged and fully tapped in and all of these things. And I was going to be this person in the corner going, wow, this is cool. But what I've come to learn very fast was that everybody in the audience, many people in the audience, have not tapped into the light worker experience of who they are. And really, from what I'm learning, is it's just about being kind and raising the vibration and the energy of where we live.
Yeah.
And the
The
happier I
more
am,
that we
the
do it.
happier everybody else is. And
Right.
people are, kind of catching on to that. And well, it's happening everywhere. Everywhere you, wherever you go, there you are. When
Yeah.
I'm happy, I'm happy. I'll tell you a very quick story and then we'll end. The other day I was in a restaurant for breakfast at Gabriel's. So we were clearing off the table to sit down, and I had some cups in my hand to take up to the where you put the dirty dishes. And the guy beside me, he's finished his breakfast, sitting at the table. I said, "Have you finished?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'll just take your plate for you." I took the plate, took it over, put it in the dirty dishes, came back, and I sat down. And he went like this. "Why did you do that?" I said, "Why wouldn't I?" He goes, "People just don't do that anymore. That was so
Mhm.
kind." And then we became the best of friends, right? That's all it takes, right? I imagine that everybody has a sticker on their forehead that says, "Make me feel special."
Yeah.
And if you do that every day, you'll change the world.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to be that person that puts a thorn in someone's day. I just don't.
No, sometimes I just do it when they phone me or I'm on the phone with Tellus for 3.5 hours. But anyway, that's for
Mm.
another conversation.
Yeah.
Elsie, it has been an absolute pleasure to share this time and space with you.
Same.
And do you have anything else coming up that people might want to tap into?
Yeah, so I've paired up with Thomas the Shooter. He's a reverend or the minister now of Unity. And that's a spiritual center that's just moved to 2020 Estevan. They're doing concerts now. Lisa, she's putting on the concert. I'll just do a shout out for Joshua. It might be too late though. It will be on the 9th. And so we're doing a lot of things at Unity, and one of the things is sound bath and quantum healing that I do with Thomas. He does a sound bath. He's been learning them, and he's just been a musician his whole life. He's amazing. And so
Wow.
we pairing it with the meditation, and I sing a celestial song with it, and then we go into the galactic and stuff. It's a great journey. Those are the fourth Wednesday of every month. And so if we have 5 weeks in a month, it's not the fifth, it's not the last week, it's the
It's
fourth
the fourth.
Wednesday. And that
Wow.
starts at 6 p.m. And
Okay.
yeah, it goes to about 7:15.
Okay. And so how can people learn about that? We just follow you on, how do we find you?
So you can find me on Facebook, Ailsie Path, Ailsie Path, and then you can also find me on YouTube, and you can also go to the Unity website, Unity Vancouver, uh, Vancouver Island. Sorry, they're on Facebook as well, and they post it on there too.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Well, I, for one, certainly look forward to being there on November the 21st, and I know that many others will. So thank you so much for your time.
thank you, Lorna.
And so November 21st, everybody, at the Unitarian Fellowship Hall at 595 Townsite Road. Join us there.